Hello again, and welcome back to the most exciting time you're going to have all day here at the Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast. And we are joined by some of the best people you will ever meet right here. These are some great, great folks.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about this one or that one. He's great too. But right down here.
Yep.
Nathaniel Ashley and Gracie, Lucky 7 Auction. Wonderful folks. They are one of our sponsors for the Highway 127 Pickin the Plateau, which, by the way, I will go ahead and hit this guy right here for a minute. Talking about tickets. If you want to come, tickets are still available. Will be available right up until the event starts. So if you're in town that Friday, which will be next Friday, come on down and see us, get your ticket, and come by and hang out and have a good time with us. But we're excited. Nathaniel, Ashley, you all are a two-time guest now, and actually was our first ever guest on the show. So it's about time we made it back around.
That's right.
Appreciate y'all for having us back.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Gracie's like.
Gracie's going to put on the star right here and going to be the star of the show. Hi. Oh, do your thing, Gracie. Oh, so how you guys been doing?
Been doing pretty good. She's been busy with her, and I've been busy with reselling, I guess.
Are we supposed to be reselling? Is that part of the theme of our lives?
It's a requirement, I think. Just a small one, you know.
I'm going to tell you, I have to give a lot of credit to my wife. She's taking care of her all day while I'm doing my thing, trying to provide for my family. But she's also, on top of that, while we're doing stuff here, like on my stuff, she is like doing a tremendous amount of work with like labels and getting stuff like packaged and labeled and stuff like that, as far as whatnot stuff. So I mean, she's not just taking care of a kid; she's actually working here while taking care of a kid, and I'm very thankful for that.
And it's exhausting.
2 full-time jobs. It is really, and I've seen these. So I want to just say I am super impressed, because I thought you all bought a lot of your stuff already encased with the little info and the descriptions already put on, the coins, the stamps, the cards, cigarette cards, things like that. So when Nathaniel told me, he's like, no, Ashley makes all that stuff up and we put that together. I was like, good grief. That was like, my brain was like, oh, I love this, because I just love organization. And I look at y'all's stuff and it's so perfect.
Oh, it's slick.
It's centered up and nice. Yeah. If you want education.
And most of the time, yeah. Sometimes it's a little.
I hate the crooked ones.
I have to have it like in my mind. It needs to be straight. I love online editors, because when you drag something over, it'll give you that grid line. You're in the perfect center, and I'm like, yeah. But I'm impressed.
It's really professional looking. I mean, that's the thing. It's and you got to do anything and everything you can to try to stand out. When you're selling online, whether it's Whatnot or eBay or whatever, if you don't kind of stay at least with the curve, it's sometimes hard to stay ahead of the curve, but you got to at least stay on par with those that are doing the most to stand out. If you don't, you'll lose sales and you'll get left behind eventually.
That's right. And a big thing with what we do, circling around historical items, coins and trade stamp stuff, what have you. It's a big part of history. And you can put it in a little holder or in a little Ziploc bag and say, here, this is what you're getting. Ship it out, and they got it. But are they going to remember that? Are they going to go back and watch that? My idea was to write it down on a piece of paper, which everybody knows how good my handwriting is. She said, no, let me make some labels. And that's where that kind of got out. So, and with it being on the label, it's got the a little bit of history on it or what have you, a little bit of details, and it just gives you a little bit of insight to what you have physically in your hand. You can go back and say, oh, that's what it is. You can take it and you can put it inside your own holder, whatever you like to do, what have you. It don't have no price on it, don't have anything. It just has the history on there. and I like that.
I love it as a history
that
teacher.
she made.
As a history teacher, I love it because, you think about, you go in a museum and I mean, sometimes there's these big complex displays, but a lot of what you'll find, it showcases, and there's just a bunch of individual artifacts of various things from whatever the period or the event that they're trying to document is. And each one of them usually has that little placard that tells you the individual story and background of each. I mean, it don't matter if it's just a shell casing or something, but it gives you some insight into every single piece. And it don't matter how much you have up here, you can't retain all of that like long-term consistently. So right. I think about, I had some document boxes and stuff for certain events that I would use. And that information was always so awesome to have right there on hand, because like I said, you can be an expert in certain things, but it's hard, like teaching history, you can't be an expert on every single era. So those little notes, I saw potential in that, even for me, like because of the different eras that's connected to. If I'm back in the classroom again at some point, being able to use that even just as things to pass around and say, okay, here's an example of what we're talking about. It's pretty cool stuff.
You're welcome.
I see that being really a good tool too, because, it's hard to get kids to read a book, like a whole book, but something like that with a tidbit of information, it's not hard to get somebody to pick something, and they'll look at it and maybe glance over it and read it.
Right. That's
a teachable thing,
This younger generation, they're going on social media and they're reading stuff that's like a sentence long.
Yep.
Yeah.
You put it on the coin, they're like, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And they can understand it, and there's a little history in there, and maybe that will instill into, the younger generation so that maybe they'll get involved, and, more people get into historic, the respect of history and, and stuff from history, coins. It goes even deeper than that. Just, anything that's old in itself. Old Guys Reselling Podcast. I mean, anything that's, that's historic.
And
like us.
And to be honest, you're welcome. When I'm selling it on Whatnot, because I can't retain everything, kind of like what Josh is saying, I have to read it. Because, quickly, so I can remember what it is. Especially with all the wheat pennies, because I can't remember all the different ones that it gives me.
I got to tell you both something, and everybody out there, but the true story of Three Little Pigs is, when I get live, and I'm kind of like, there, Ashley helps me to remember stuff. And then when she gets live, she kind of goes blank, being in the hot seat. And I help her, we help each other with it, because I go blank sometimes. I'm just like, this is I just can't get it out. But it's a true story. I mean, we kind of help each other out.
So who's more of the historian? I feel like it's probably, I was about to say Nathaniel.
Yeah, I love history.
I felt like you might have missed your calling. When I hear you talking, you present almost everything you sell. You're like, and here's a 1940 blah 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 blah, Delaware mint, yada yada, and then you'll talk about, and they only did this so long, blah blah blah. And I'm like, he should have been a historian tour guide, because he would have been perfect for taking people around the towns and telling all the details about everything,
But I think with Whatnot, that's one of the things I think that makes it unique, because you can get on there and like just kind of surf around to the various shows, and some of them are real cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them, everybody, the ones that are successful, I know it doesn't happen overnight, but to build the following you need on there, there's got to be something you're offering besides just what you're selling. Right. Because there's going to be plenty of other people selling the same thing. And when you're like the way you present, you're going to come away, if you're not familiar with, coins and like I said, the tobacco cards, the stamps, the different things that y'all present, there's going to be little tidbits all the way through it that'll hold your attention. It's almost like you're watching little mini documentaries about that subject in a sense, right? Because it is filled with that. It's not just, okay, this is what's next, and now we're doing this, now we're doing this. And then some of them get on there, and they just act a nut, and it's like a comedy show, and it's entertaining in its own right. They may be selling plush, but it's entertaining.
We kind of have a little
I kind of act a fool sometimes.
But that's okay. That's what I'm saying. I think it needs that. You need that. You got to have something to draw people in besides I'm just selling stuff. I mean, I guess if everything was a giveaway, then that would work. But if you're trying to make a little money on it, then you've got to have something that holds the attention.
Right. And exactly what you said, Josh. That's what I'm trying to do with Whatnot is have something with different items and different stuff, because there's so many people on there that already has the same stuff.
Yeah.
And so many people that's doing the games on there, which I have not a problem with the games, but we don't do the games. We put it on there. Usually we start it for $2. We've done, she did one yesterday. I did one last week. We started everything at $1. And, we just kind of go with the flow with it and everything and enjoy it. Just kind of gives us something to do. But she gets scared with it sometimes, especially when I put something silver up there. She's like, oh, no.
I get scared. I've seen you do that, and I'm like, oh, no. I hope this goes, because, I'm thinking this is worth way more than $1 or $2.
Right.
Well, and it's not the same as being in an auction house where everybody has already, kind of paid the price of admission and they're keyed in, focused on what's going on. It's like when I've been in your show, I'm in there trying to cook and do other stuff, and I'll miss 3 or 4 in a row because I'm out of the room or I'm doing other things. I'm hearing it, but I can't get back in time or something. And I mean, if you've got 25 people in there, the odds are half of them are distracted and the other half are doing something or multitasking,
I will be honest with you, going to a actual live in-house auction for us does better, but it also has its advantages for being on Whatnot for people that can't get out and stuff like that, and maybe wants to listen to it from the comfort of their own home, so that gives them a chance to, get a deal as well. So.
And I do want to say, at least for me, I'm so thankful for my regular customers.
Yes.
I have.
Shout out Rosilla, by the way.
Yes.
Sorry, I watch the program.
Oh, yeah.
No, he'll comment.
Yes.
You found it.
I'm thankful for Rosilla, and I don't know. Thank you. If Junk is Us is following us, but I'm so thankful for him because he comes in and
every time,
and he doesn't always buy, but he's
there.
He's there.
And
that helps me.
You don't have to buy anything. You just come in and hang out and chat with us. That's really all it's about. We love to have fun. Yeah, if we're not making, that many sales, we're going to probably cut it off early, but it's fun to have the interaction still if you're buying or not. So,
Absolutely.
And there she is.
Hey, Gracie, watch this. You're going to be on TV. You ready? Here we go. Here comes our sponsor video. You're going to be in it. Ready? Here we go. Highway 127 Pickin the Plateau is brought to you by the Two Old Guys Reselling Podcast, co-hosted by the Reseller Locker Room. Our sponsors are My Reseller Jeannie, Faith and Paul, Grams and Pops Vintage, Corey and Teresa, Lucky 7 Auction, Ashley, Nathaniel, and Sweet Baby Gracie, and Mary McQuain. We appreciate each one of you so very much. There she was. Did you see her?
Yes.
She said hi, but she loved Miss Mary's bus better. So, bus.
Yeah, the wheels on the bus go round.
Like the bus. That's so good.
Yeah. Right over there. Yes. You better go grab her bus before.
Want your bus?
There you go.
There's your bus.
There's your bus.
Oh, so cute. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
So, just wondering how it's been for you guys, because, I did start back listing last week till I ran out. We ran out of pictures. We've been trying to get some stuff ready to take pictures and keep going. But this weekend, I had the worst. I didn't even record it. It was so bad. The worst weekend I've had in years. 3 sales for like $70. I mean, it was atrocious.
eBay stinks right now.
I was wondering if that was part of it, because I was like, even in the midst of no listing, I've been selling, 10, 12 things around that. not the 30 that we usually sell, but maybe 10 or 12, 15, 20 at a really good weekend. But yeah, 3, it didn't sell anything from like Saturday morning around 8, 9 o'clock until now. I still haven't even sold anything today. So nothing Sunday, nothing today at all. And I was like, man, that is so odd. We usually have at least one, but nothing.
We didn't do nothing Saturday. We did one Sunday, and I think we did 2 today. Well, last night. Careful. But that's one thing I was talking to her earlier about. So eBay is not the eBay that I remember. I mean, yeah, you can still make it on eBay. You can still do a lot of stuff with it. But also, when I say eBay is not the eBay that I remember, it's totally different from a lot of you guys out there. Because a lot of you guys are selling, stuff that are, older stuff, which I'm starting to do now. But before I was doing new stuff. And it was awesome to be able to put multiple items, one listing, and have, several hundred of those. I mean, it was awesome to do. Yep. And now today, I mean, this stuff's going to, as far as, I mean, if it's medicine or something, it unfortunately ends up going our date before you can even sell it. And that's even going for like the bottom lows of trying to sell it with free shipping. And it's sad. And back in the day, you would get messages on, and I'm sure you two remember it, you would get messages all day long on eBay saying, contact me outside of eBay, which you don't supposed to do.
Right.
But I always got in touch with them and say, look, the list I looked at, I have all this stuff, but I'll have it on eBay. If you want to buy it, you can buy it on eBay. And they bought it. I mean, they bought a lot of it, but that stuff's not around anymore.
Yeah.
It has changed a lot. I remember, back in the days when it was an auction site only the day that it became buy it now. And I remember buy it now coming in. I was like, man, this was a game changer in a good way. But, when Amazon became a thing, it did affect eBay some. A lot of the eBay people look at eBay as a place to find stuff you can't find anywhere else. I mean, it seems like, Amazon has taken over that convenience buy. If I just need it quick, I'm going to go to Amazon because Amazon's generally pretty quick. eBay may be quick, not so quick. It's kind of,
right. I think too, there's so many new marketplaces that have come along, and it's what like Mercari, while it may, offer almost everything just like eBay, there's still, whether it's Mercari, Poshmark, Depop, all these platforms, they generally do have something that they kind of lean towards. They specialize in. It's just like Etsy. There's things that sell on Etsy that don't sell as well on eBay. They won't sell as fast on eBay or for as much. But, overall, like we've talked about this before, eBay is the most complex and most diverse. It's like literally sell any and all of it. It's like the hub. I think because some of these folks are pulling so much of the like specified traffic for certain items, I think that's part of what's hurting. I think, to really be successful eBay wise, especially during the slower times, it's probably more important that we do one of two things. We either have to, source differently during those times and really focus only on sell-through rate and not on what we love to source the most. Or maybe, I've thought about even, when we're sourcing through the year, it's like, you got a couple of these periods where things slow down. So the things that you have, like Caleb said, that are really unique, that, when you put it up, it's something that's going to draw a lot of attention, and it is going to sell if you price it well, relatively quick. I think something to be said for maybe holding some of that stuff over to those times so that your income is consistent, because, you get into Q4 and a lot of the bread and butter stuff, when people start really spending money and buying, and then tax season, when they buy a lot, there's certain times a year where sales really pick up, and it doesn't have to be really unique to have a good week. It just has to be desirable items, be it golf clubs in the spring or whatever. I mean, whatever someone's sourcing. But I think, you have to be maybe more strategic or more scientific in how you approach it. If you want to make sure that income's consistent. Otherwise, list it all as fast as you can and just hold on to as much as you can for when it's, slow. I mean, that's the other side of it, is don't overspend. You make $10,000 one month and make 4 the next. Well, you can't spend all 10, the month you have the big month. You gotta let that roll over and find what your It's kind of like that. Do y'all have that Alabama Power here? They do that, one rate bill, where they average about what your electric is, and you get
levelized
every single month.
Yeah.
So even though
do that,
350, right? You're still paying your average.
Yeah.
And so you got to look at your income that way too. Sometimes, everyone has an idea, I think, of what their average income is per month, like through a particular platform or overall. And so through the highs and the lows, business wise, you've got to adjust the way you live to what your average monthly income is going to be, or you'll find yourself in a tight pretty quick.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And another thing, we have more platforms than we did yesterday. We have so much stuff going on now, and Amazon's growing, and I don't know if y'all have done it, but I've done it. I've ordered off of eBay thinking I got the best deal, and then it comes from where? Amazon.
Yeah,
and I look it up in Amazon, and I see I got a better price on Amazon to buy it there.
Yeah.
So I'm learning with this. I mean, I've been doing this over 20 years, and I'm still learning stuff today.
Well, stuff changes so fast. It's hard to keep up with everything. It's impossible actually to keep up with everything.
Right.
But I mean, that's I've never really understood the benefit of drop shipping personally. I guess to me, I would look at that as a volume dealer because there's so little markup. Like, you can't operate a drop ship the way we do this type of eBay business. It doesn't quite add up the same.
Right.
I mean, you can make money, but
put a lot of gifts into.
I think that comes down to the fact that it kind of runs itself. Like if you set it up right, and I'm not interested in that myself so much. But if I was going to do something like that, I'd probably do something like Printify tied to Etsy and just set it up and it runs itself. If I was going to do something along those lines, I wouldn't do it through eBay. But the beauty of it is, whether it makes $50 or $500 a month, you're not having to do anything once you get it set up. It runs indefinitely as long as it's set up. And so if you do a good job with whatever product you're offering, whatever you've created, whether it's through Printify or whatever, then, over time, the only thing that you're going to, whatever time you invested, say you invested 2 hours,
right?
Within 5 years, you've made $1,500 off of that 2 hour investment. Then those 2 hours of work have paid you really good. Really good.
Agreed.
Sometimes I spend 2 hours cleaning one pair of shoes that I spent $10 for, and it sells for $20. I mean, and I'm never going to make anything extra than that $4 or $5 of profit after fees that I make off that 2 hours. That's it. So I mean, I get it long term.
Right, and it's also a thing where you got one thing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. When you have all the, and it's kind of what you're saying there. I mean, if one thing don't bring a whole lot, the next thing may will. Something's going to average you out. So, but yeah.
And I think it needs to be said that a lot of people are struggling right now with money.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
very true.
When it comes to that, people aren't buying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be said. At least with me, I've buckled down on my spending.
We have to.
If it's not necessary, it's not being bought.
Yeah.
And I think coupled with that, the accessibility of resale or even new goods sale, like through drop shipping or Amazon FBA, all these different avenues of getting into this kind of a niche as a side income. Even I know they'll say, well, people are leaving this, they're leaving that, but I think overall, if you were to plot a chart over the last 5 to 7 years, that chart's doing this number. It's steadily rising. It's not going down. The competition, there's more and more people, like you said, Ashley, because people are struggling and they're looking for anything. If they can add $150 a month, this life changing sometimes. Scott talked about that, like in trying to teach people how to do eBay. You don't have to go at it no holds barred and have, half your house covered in inventory. If you can just cherry pick some decent items here and there, a lot of people, if they add $150 a month to their income, it takes them from being right there at barely making it to having a little bit of money left over. And I mean, some are struggling to pay a light bill, I mean, so it can be life-changing income. I mean, we live in a world where people look at it, they're all trying to get rich. But if you're just trying to survive, sometimes it just doesn't take a lot to make a big difference. $300 or $400 more in the budget every month can absolutely take the stress out of that part of life.
Very much so.
I
Absolutely.
with So I think that's something that Mercari sees. I'm not plugged to sponsor anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying Mercari has made it to where they're not charging no fees whatsoever, and they just charge you to cash out your money. But I
don't agree with that.
Well, I think it's because they don't have as many people on there as they have on eBay. I get it. Sales will probably not have a great sell-through rate compared to eBay. There's pros and cons to both, but I'm going to say the last 2 weeks we've made more on Mercari than we have eBay.
Wow.
Do y'all cross list everything, or do y'all just pick cherry pick certain things for certain platforms?
Yes.
Okay. To be completely honest with you, if eBay kicks it off, I put it on Mercari.
Yep. And Mercari lets you sell it.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Ain't that so odd?
That's the honest truth.
I had
my items now. That's fine, but that's what I did. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
absolutely. I had I don't know if y'all remember the GoPro camera we sold. We had it for probably a year.
Right.
And every time I would update my listings, every 30, 60 days, whatever I was doing to update that listing, it would just get dropped back in. And without thinking about it, I would drop it back in like normal. So it would be added back to international shipping. And every month I would get an email. We have removed this listing from specific countries because it's not allowed yet. And I'm like, it's a GoPro. Right. I mean, it just seems so odd to me that you can't sell certain things in certain places. And I get hazardous things.
Yeah.
But it's just weird.
And it's crazy because it's usually, with new stuff, especially medicine, it's like, it's prescription strength. It's over the counter. They have thousands of them on there, but they pulled mine. But it's probably because mine was a little cheaper than somebody else's, and But anyway, long story short, they let me do it on another platform, so that's where it goes. And
so I'm curious about that because I've not used Mercari. Do they allow you to sell like the supplements and vitamins and things like that?
Just don't say that they guarantee to do what they. I'm trying to think how to put this. You can sell it, but you can't say that it's guaranteed to do anything or whatever.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, like if I was looking for this brand of this particular multivitamin or supplement, as long as it's just listed, just literally, this is the brand, this is what it is. I mean, because people that are buying that stuff, they're looking exactly for, and see, that's something that I like early on before I realized some of that stuff couldn't be sold on eBay. And I figured it out before I listed it. But some people, of course, always try to get around it and list it anyway. And so I run some comps on some stuff that was clearanced out, and I thought, wow, that's worth about 4 times what the price is right now. Bought it, brought it home, got ready to list it. I thought, well, maybe I should just make sure. And so I did a little bit of research on the Veros and stuff. I was like, wow, so I really can't list that. So then all I had done was spent $50 or $100 on stuff that I couldn't do anything with.
Yeah. And see, and there's Veros that's on eBay that you can go through and you look, but you may have something that's not on there, but that don't mean it's not a Vero thing. I mean,
true.
I mean, it's just, it's crazy. One thing we have abundance of is called the bug thing. I can't sell it on there. It was put out by Shark Tank, and because they endorsed it, you have to have it's Vero, and they want you to have a contract through them to be able to sell their product, what have you. Well, I put it on Mercari, and I can say the last 2 weeks, I don't know how many we've sold. And we sold them on eBay, $9.95 free shipping. I mean, it's not a lot, but we were selling hundreds.
Yeah.
And we're on there now, and we're selling them 16 at a time. 4 at a time for $16.20, and no fees. So we're making about the same thing per unit that we would have made selling them on eBay, selling one with free shipping.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, that's the beauty of, like, I know everybody talks about high value versus low value inventory.
Right.
But I think for everyone that looks at doing this type of stuff long term, I know Caleb bought out a bunch of, was it pet stuff? I think here a while back from that store. But I mean, the multi-quantity listings, I mean, however you get into that, however you can find your inventory for it. I mean, it don't matter if it's only making $5 per unit that you sell when you've got hundreds of them and it's something that moves.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like the drop ship. Once you set your listing up, it just all you got to do is pull it and ship it. I mean, that makes you money. That time you invested in that listing, it makes you money over and over and over. And I mean, that's a really, I think that's a key, long term to really being successful without having to work yourself to death on a daily basis.
Me and Tanya have talked about that, like trying to sell a staple, like having something in our business that is a staple, just like we're going to keep stocking it, keep it. If you could find something that would be that consistent.
That way you have residual income.
Yeah. Just constant, never have to worry about, just keep it supplied. That'd be the only thing. Make sure you don't run out. Check your listing every couple months, make sure it's still accurate. That's about it. So I like that kind of stuff, but unfortunately,
all you need is 100,000 subs and a good sticker package to sell.
So just 99,000 more, and we'll be there. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Oh, goodness.
And that's the same thing with what Josh just said. Same thing with Whatnot. We don't have a lot of subscribers. We're blessed for the ones that came over and watched us on Whatnot. But we like growing organically, subs over there or followers on Whatnot versus having the big following coming over and then paying maybe too much or maybe not as fun for other people that may end up paying more for something that somebody else wanted. There's pros and cons to everything. And
absolutely.
Neutral. Don't beat me up, but I'm just it is what it is. But we love.
You're absolutely right.
We'll have 4 or 5 people in there. We're good. We have 30, 40 people in there. We're happy. We all want to make money. Don't get me wrong, but you also want to have fun doing what you do. That's why we do this now.
I'm happy when I have 5.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go.
I'm happy when I'm in there and I bid and someone else gets it too, because I look at it like this. If it's something I've kind of got an idea of what I'm willing to bid, with whatever show I'm in. But especially with people, if it's things that I enjoy, like I told you, I like coins. I've collected coins off and on my whole life. So if it's coins or sports cards or something that I've been into during my life, then I don't feel like I'm losing anything as long as I stay disciplined in how I bid. Right. But because I bid, it causes someone else that has a higher ceiling to reach their ceiling, well, that benefits you, Right. If it's just $1 more or $2 more, whatever it is, and same way with anyone else if we're in a show. So, but I like what you said. If you have I know a lot of them really endorse the raid thing, but if you have those regular customers that you named a while ago, people like that are used to your shows, that show up every time and always spend. Well, if suddenly everything's 3 times what it normally is for 10 shows in a row because of a raid, and people are just buying stuff they don't even want just to say, hey, we're here to help. Does it really help if you lose your regular customers and they quit coming back 10 shows down the road? Then you're starting over again trying to build a following,
Absolutely, 100%. And our regulars, she don't care if they spend $1, $2, whatever. They're there. They enjoy the show, and we're thankful for them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How it is.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. If you get to where you have 10 or 15, you can count on to be there pretty much every time. Or so you got 25 regulars, but at least 10 to 15 show up every time.
Right.
Then that's going to, over time, that is going to bump your, you may be breaking even sometimes or losing on some items sometimes. But in the big picture, a year from now, once you get that group built up, it may not mean the prices are sky high, but it may start to equal what you get at a live auction at an auction house.
Yes,
because there'll be just enough competition to push them on up another $1 or $2, right about to where they land.
Right.
And so
you're 100% right. Yes, sir. Yes.
Josh, you talked a minute ago about having 100,000 subs, throwing a sticker package out there. So I don't know if you guys know what this is.
Boom.
Oh,
I do.
That is our new stickers for the Old Pass channel.
Yeah. Those are awesome.
These will be going up soon, sometime. I'll link them and everything.
Put me down for 2. because they're going to go to her +1 on the side and ship it to me somewhere else so she don't know.
You don't. You guys don't have to pay nothing. I'm sending them to you guys. So, I'm not going to send you one, Josh. You'll be here in a few days. You can just get yours in.
Oh, you can. That's right.
But yeah, I bought, just so everybody knows, I've got plenty of these. I did just have the one sticker, and I have to credit Tanya for this. She's looking at me. This is her design, and she done a great job on the design. She was sitting here telling me, what she wanted. We finally found that. I'm not blaming you. She said I gave her a 10-minute time frame. This is what she can do in 10 minutes. So imagine if she had hours. I like it. I think
turned out
I started off, it was just going to be the cross with the little road. That's a road, the old pass, the pass that leads to the cross. That's kind of the point. And I dropped my sticker. And then there's a citation, Jeremiah 6:16, that talks about seek out the old paths. That's what the Bible says. And that's kind of how we came to that name. But funny thing, when we first started and we bought the store subscription, you could name your store. So I was like, well, what are we going to name the store? And she said, how about the old paths? I think you said it right. You said the old paths because you're the top seller, TOP, the old paths. I'm like, hey, top rated. So it worked out good. And it took us 4 years to get stickers, but there they are. I never really thought about, never really thought about doing that. And Tanya is very good with all that stuff. But when I say we've got a few. We're good. If you want a sticker, we're good.
She did a great job.
Yes.
And we love the wood grain, as you can see behind us.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. We've also got our sticker, the two old guys here. Those will be included in the swag bags at the event as well as this one. And I'm assuming Josh will have some of his.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those are awesome.
Except for the old, show them again. Get it up close to the guy that looks like he's dead on the left side there.
Oh,
see the guy on the left side that looks like he's been warmed up?
No.
That is too neat. That is awesome.
I love that too. I'm still in
those will be officially debuting at the meetup, as will ours, and then they'll be available after that.
I'm gonna have to save up if they're $50.99.
Well, we will also have T-shirts starting at the meetup as well.
Mm-hmm.
I picked those up Thursday, so we're excited about that. I just got the message back from him this morning saying that I could pick them up by Thursday, so we're ready for that too. Kind of see how that goes.
That's just in time, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to
reorganize that.
Let's see. Yeah. What is okay? So next week,
it was greasy.
Have to reorganize that whole little area. Thank you.
So next week on this show, Josh will be here. Josh and Casey will be here live with us. We're going to do something different. We're not sure exactly how we're going to go about doing that yet, but maybe we can show one of the shirts on that show.
We can wear ours.
Yeah, we can wear them. That's true. If they fit. Hopefully they fit.
We go up to 3X, brother. I mean, surely we can get in there.
So hopefully they.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I hope they're good. I hope the sizes are good.
I do too.
I know it varies sometimes. You can't always guarantee. So,
that's exactly right. All that to say this: the meetup is 8 days away. 8 days. That is crazy. Next Thursday, when this show comes out next week, episode 62, we'll be here live at the house or something, and it'll be the day after that. So I mean, it's here. It is upon us,
man.
Yeah. It came on quick.
It did.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
We've been talking about it being 4 months away forever, and now all of a sudden it's 4 days away. It's here.
I mean, look how
Time
close.
flies.
Look how close it is. I mean, honestly, 2024 is like.
I know.
Yep.
It seems like just yesterday they was talking about COVID this, COVID that, and now it's 4 years later, and it's like, goodness, 4 years later, it's crazy.
It was the first of this year. Cable was talking about the meetup or end of last year or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's a good ways away. But look at it now. I mean, we're here. I mean, like a blink of an eye, and then we're here.
You'll be 41 soon.
Oh, stop.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to tell you, 41's rough, brother.
Oh, man.
It's hard on your bones.
Hey, Ashley, where do you get my age?
I'll be there soon.
I do that every time to her. She's right behind me.
Man. I'll be 44 this year, so
she'll be 41.
I'm ahead of all of you.
Yeah, you're the old dog of the bunch.
What? Oh, man.
You bring the old to the Two Old Guys podcast, right?
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Well, I bring the gray.
And you bring the memory problem. So
already. We didn't even hit record, and I forgot what I was talking about. So bad. I want to say something, but I'm not going to.
You'd probably forget.
I would forget.
Say it what's on that mind.
Yeah, for real. So we're supposed to. What was I going to say?
There it is.
That's your fault.
Oh,
Blame you, Josh.
What are we talking about?
Well, let's do something.
Let's hit a segment.
Let's do something here since I forgot what we're doing. Let's hit our sell of the week.
That sounds good to me.
What do you got this week?
I got a couple actually that I'd like. My best sale was a set of CDs. Surprise, surprise. I've been listing tons of that stuff again. So I've had my best sales week in a while because I've listed more than I've listed in a while. But I sold a set of 10 Gene Clark CDs. They sold for $175.50. So that's $3 into $175.50. And then the really cool one though, I was at one of our local thrift stores, and it's been probably 6 months ago. And I found this. You remember the old football jerseys that were like that heavy mesh like material, like real heavy mesh, had all the holes in it. Well, they had this Russell Athletic made in USA red with the Gatorade right across the chest. It's an old Gatorade, like probably from the 80s, Gatorade mesh jersey. It is in great condition. I mean, it's super, super, super cool. And so I listed it up pretty high. It's hard to find good comps on stuff like that because it's kind of unique, like we were talking about earlier. But I forget what I had it listed at. Maybe it's like 130 or something like that. But I got an offer in at 110 this week, and I took it. So sold that for $110. I think I gave $6 for it. It was awesome. It was the coolest looking jersey. I mean, the pictures of it is really cool stuff.
I give you a hard time, but you're pretty good at this. That's some pretty good sales right there.
It is.
All right, for our guest, do you have a sale of the week?
Well, I want to put on that I would have chosen the sale of the week, but it was
$65 and change. But
I got a message, and they wanted to return it because they found it cheaper.
Don't you,
man?
Yeah.
And they did send it back.
Really?
They didn't even open it. They just
didn't
sent
even
it.
That's crazy.
They wrapped it in white paper in the original envelope and put another label on it. And I opened it up, and it was still it was.
I mean, it was in
wow.
position, so we could relist it.
Yeah.
So
But this is another one.
So we had another patch sale with Yoda on it. It was a 1997 Jamboree Yoda yellow border Star Wars patch.
Nice.
But it was only $20.
But it cost 69 cents to ship it.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. Only $20. You got nothing in it. That's crazy. I love it.
But,
69 cents to ship and
but
free shipping. But yeah.
but the other one sure would have been nice to say.
Yeah. The other $1.59 or $1.69 to ship, but yeah, they got their money back.
Yep. But they did.
That's how it goes. Can't let all the negatives bring you down. I mean, because you got so many positives when you're selling. All of us resellers, from my understanding and me, you have so many positives versus the negatives. So you might as well keep going. Just sweep it on. Keep going.
Got to factor it in.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, I had the one sale that carried us through the last 3 days, where we've been so dead. Right before the store plummeted, we sold a set of Horizon 5X RIC SFYT 0239. That's the number behind it. Rechargeable hearing aids. And this was one of those things that you have to put, a disclaimer there. Hey, you will have to take these to your hearing doctor and your whoever, to your doctor and get these programmed, because they're a medical device. Like, you're going to have to get them set for you. But they sold for $279.99.
Oh, that's a good sale.
Wow, that's good.
But it's the only good one I've had in a week. So like I said, that's for sure. It's the only good one we've had for a week, though. But we'll take it absolutely anytime.
That's a great sale. You said about going to the doctor, and the ear doctor. I asked her while you were talking. I'm like, who's the ear doctor? What are they called?
Well,
I don't know.
She knows.
Well, they would take them to the doctor that does their hearing aids.
Yeah, they do call them something like an eye doctor's an optometrist.
Audiologist.
There you go.
Okay, audiologist. I would have never figured that out.
We had to have her testing.
She's the one she's the legal drug dealer. I don't know nothing about that stuff.
Oh my goodness.
She's a certified pharmacy technician. Not right now, but that's what she does. So she's not a drug dealer, folks.
Well, I'm a licensed one.
Oh, funny.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's hit our comment of the week while we're here.
Let's do it.
You want to do it first?
Sure. I went with my good friend Glenn Bill, who simply told you to tell better jokes, Caleb.
I probably should.
Oh man, appreciate that, man.
I've run out of good content.
He's gonna use them later when he can win.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. We both got beat this week. Mary got all the votes pretty much. I mean, she got everything. So Mary's going to be walking in with a title belt, I guess.
Right. Mary did a good job.
Yeah. So mine comes from Mary's son, Joe I'm going to mess this name up. Martirano, I hope is how you say that. Mm-hmm. He commented, he said, "Great job, gentlemen, and Mama, you rocked it." And I thought that was great. She did a great job. And
she did.
We love Mary is kind of like what you guys was talking about. There's a core group of people that comment on every single video we put out. Kind of like y'all was talking about, you can count on them to show up on your auctions. I mean, we got you guys, we got Rosilla, we got Mary, we've got just these core group of people that show up and comment and watch, and we appreciate that. And to me, if you have 200 views, 500 views, 5,000 views, 50,000 views, just knowing people get something out of it makes it so worth it, So I really appreciate it. And we're going to get to meet Joe at the meetup. He's coming with Mary. So we're looking forward to that too.
Yep. It's going to be good.
All right. Well, I think we need to, we haven't talked about it yet at all. And I know this is going to be so exciting for Nathaniel. But I think it's time to do a little This Week in Wrestling History.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, brother.
Brother. Oh.
Bigot. All right, Josh, you want to go first?
Sure.
You're going to take mine. I know you're going to take mine.
Maybe not. 1986.
Oh, no, you ain't going to take mine.
Okay, good. Dusty Rhodes, as you say, the American Dream.
The American Dream.
He won his third and final NWA World Title, and he did this against Ric Flair in a steel cage match. And I think it was like 2 weeks later, Flair won it back. But again, 3-time champion, won his third and final title with the NWA. So,
yeah. Oh, Dusty, he always said, if you will, the American Dream. Let me tell you something.
His antics in the ring, that last little chop he'd do, the double hand chop,
Or the
oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like he'd be doing all that stuff, but then the last one when they go down, it was always that double hand, It's just good stuff.
That's back when wrestling was wrestling, not all this daytime soap operas. It's back in the good old days.
Yeah.
So I have one a little more recent. I say a little more recent. To me, it's recent. It's 23 years old now. But so back in 2001, there was a pay-per-view took place, and the pay-per-view was historic. Most people didn't care for it. They didn't like the whole angle. I was one of those people that was just drawn in, but most people didn't care for it. And of course, I'm talking about the WCW, WWE invasion angle, where the Vince McMahon actually did buy WCW, but they built this angle up where his son bought it, come in, and then combined with ECW, and they was the alliance.
Yep.
And they had an event called the Invasion. They had a couple of like champion versus champion type things with some of the lower tier guys. And then they had the main event. The main event was Booker T, the Dudley Boys, Rhino, and Diamond Dallas Page against The Undertaker, Kane, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, of course, that whole show was topped off by Steve Austin turning on the WWE, joining up with those guys. But as I think back to that, during that time, Shawn Michaels was hurt. Triple H was out injured. The Rock was out injured. The Rock wasn't out. He was around for part of that. But you had several guys out at that time. And then you had guys that did not make it because they had guaranteed contracts with Ted Turner that didn't come, like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Goldberg, Sting, Ric Flair. Those guys did not come over.
They didn't make it. But could you, for us wrestling nerds, if this match would have been, instead of the Dudley Boys, Rhino, Booker T, if it would have had Hogan, Flair, Sting, Savage, it would have been a different story.
Had the others not been injured at the time, like you said, if it had been, the Undertaker and The Rock and Stone Cold, that's it's totally different. But
yeah, the Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Just those core guys. And then there's other people, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, that you're leaving out of the picture that are still big names at the time. It would be impossible to figure out who you're going to put in that spot as your guy, But one other thing, today is Shawn Michaels' birthday, 59 years young. So Shawn, happy birthday. I'm sure you're watching. I appreciate you.
No doubt.
I'm sure he's watching. Right now he's saying, I can't believe the two old guys just shouted me out.
Yeah. I guess that just about makes him the Heartbreak Senior, don't it?
Yeah, the Heartbreak Senior. No longer the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we only got one segment left, guys. I don't know if Nathaniel, Ashley, if yuns are primed and ready for a dad joke.
Yes, we are.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We're going to get beat again, Josh.
I got a good one this week.
I don't know anything about history of wrestling, but I know history
Those are matches they were talking about.
Matches. Oh, I don't know.
He was going to say that Hulk Hogan was born in Augusta, Georgia, which is right over the bridge from us.
Oh, yeah.
Little same.
Speaking of wrestling,
he was born. Oh, look at that. He was born August 11th, 1953.
Okay, give me the dad joke.
Wow.
I don't need to say it.
All right. You're not going first.
You're gonna do the intro first.
Yeah, we're gonna hit our intro while yins are looking. All right, now you may proceed.
I don't know what this is.
You got to let them go first.
Oh,
so
you go first.
Okay, well, yeah. Josh, you go ahead, Josh. I don't want to be the worst.
Are you sure?
The first is the worst. You go ahead.
Okay. Did you hear about the woman that died drinking milk?
No.
Yeah, the cow fell on her.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they said it was utter destruction. She just didn't move fast enough.
That's pretty good.
That's a three-part joke.
Three-part joke. Gotta love it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Tanya's going to like mine. She'll probably kick me out of the house for this. So what do you call a caveman's fart?
What are you doing? Tell us.
Nobody? A blast from the past.
Oh,
jeez.
That's good stuff.
Could have had the
That's all I had this week. I'm totally just out.
Gosh,
all right.
Ours is going to be horrible. You picked a horrible one.
The better they are, the better they are. I mean,
yeah, it can't get much worse than what I just did.
I said better on purpose. I know it's not a word. But the worse they are, the better it is.
Here. Okay. What did the buffalo say to his son when he dropped him off at school?
Do you want me to ruin it, or do you want me to let the punchline hit?
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you say it. Go ahead.
No, it don't matter. He knows.
Bye, son.
Buffalo nickels. So it was,
it works perfect. It works perfect.
I like it. If it had 3 legs, we could shout.
Oh man, you got that right.
Oh wow.
That was bad.
Well, Josh made it better with the 3 legs. That 3-legged buffalo.
Oh goodness. Well, guys, make sure that you're following Nathaniel and Ashley and Gracie on YouTube. They are resellers, but they have reselling content mixed with family blogging type stuff, mixed with just a little bit of everything. Great channel, great people. And follow them also on Whatnot. If you're not already, Lucky 7 Auction on Whatnot. And Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Yins are on, I guess, whatever. But great folks. Follow them on all that stuff. And little spoiler here, I'm going to have a Whatnot show. It may happen this week. It may happen after the meetup. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to clear out some wrestling cards, some football cards, some toys, stuff like that I went through.
Next week, I could help you with it.
Hey, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Do what? Yes, and Tanya reminded me, this is why we keep our ladies, because they are a lot smarter than us. Tanya said also Mizra's Lucky 7 Auction.
Oh, thank you, Tanya. I love you.
Yes, and Ashley has great shows.
I was just going to let it roll.
Ashley has great shows too. Guys, go over and follow both of those channels on Whatnot. Have great shows. And if you're looking for a authority in historical items and coinage, this is the channel for you. I mean, it's who I would trust. It's actually who I call on if I have a question. Hey, what do you think about this coin? Or, I mean, Nathaniel knows so much.
Or if you want to hear, if you want to hear a joke about how a president looks on a coin, that's me.
There you go.
because Eisenhower has got like a 12 head.
I'm working on mine pretty good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's 7. Fingers. You got to, maybe a 5 head.
We appreciate you both too. Be sure you're following also
6.
the old Alabama Jaybird also on his channel. They are great guys.
Appreciate
awesome individuals, and I love watching their channels. Love watching this Old Guys Reselling Podcast. If you're not subscribed here, be sure you are following these two guys. They're awesome.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Yes, sure do.
Josh actually hit 1,000. I don't know if we even mentioned that here. I think we did.
No, I don't think we did. I think we were going to, and we just didn't get around to it last week.
But yeah, he hit.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, he hit 1,000 on his channel. So I told him he was going to, and he had another good video. And I mean, just kept rolling and just finally pushed him over, and couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So.
Well, y'all are too kind, but I appreciate it. It was exciting. If I get those hours locked up now, I'll be good. I need a couple of them to do a good run on hours. So we'll see how it goes the next couple of weeks. I'm going to try to crank out a couple this week and have a couple, maybe at least have one ready for next week when we're up there. So we'll see. If I have one hit, you never know. If it catches the algorithm just right, I might grab my hours before we walk in on that Friday. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Might as well set the bar high for that.
I didn't drop a video last week. I was actually not feeling well Wednesday, so I didn't even get to complete it. So I may have a mixed up mess of a video this week. This is one of the busiest weeks we're going to have. So if I don't get another video out, I apologize, but I'm going to do my best to try to do that. But anyway, we appreciate you guys being here. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Ashley and Nathaniel. And it's our honor. You guys are great. We really appreciate you.
Good.
And when we say you won't find better people, we're not just saying that. These are some fine folks right here.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody watching. Thank you to all the subscribers. We picked up a handful of subscribers here lately, and we really appreciate that too. But one last time, if you're not already coming and you want to come, check out the link below for tickets to the Highway 127 Pickin the Plateau. Just a few days away now, and we'll see everybody there. But any last words before we head out, guys?
Be safe if you are coming.
Yes.
Please be safe, and be aware of other people around you.
Yes.
Don't drive like a fool.
Don't eat too much before you show up.
That's very true.
Strap on you. Always say, strap on your feed bucket.
That's right.
Bring your Ozempic.
You can tell I'm not using it.
It's a pharmacy technician.
Yeah.
It went over my head. I don't even know where the lines are.
It's Ozempic.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. This has been the Two Old Guys. Actually, this week, technically, three old guys
and an old gal too.
A nice young lady and a baby. How about like that? All right, we will see you guys later. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye, guys.